Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. Every single day, we bring you the topics of cryptocurrency. We go over Bitcoin, total market cap, and everything else right here. Come on. Shout out to everybody here. God bless everybody in the live. Thank you for being here. God bless you all. God bless all our wives, all our children, and everybody in this life. What a blessing it is to be alive. You know what? The more we progress, the closer I get to God. So, hey, my morning begins. Let's put the lemon into the water. Little wedge. And let's get it going. I did work out today, a little rushed. Had issues getting my computer up and running, but it's all good. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's break it down. Let's talk about what I see happening for AGIX. So I'm looking at AGIX2L on KuCoin. They've created a 2L coin that can 2x the leverage on AGIX. You had that bearish divergence that played out. You're bouncing off a possible double bottom, higher low there. There's your high, there's your low, there's your higher high, higher low, uptrend. Can we make a higher high to keep the trend alive? I want to see us get back above this point of control, but it's oversold in the 4-hour time frame. I'm looking for AGIX to make a bit of a move here. This is a 2L token on AGIX. Rosio Finance. If we dump, Bitcoin will dump. You have a shoulder head and a shoulder there. You do have a value area low here and an order block down here right there. Do you come back? Can we hold this block right here is the question. The point of control, if I take it away. So point of control is being held. If you draw Fibonacci on that, it also did bounce pretty closely to the 0.5 fib. And now we're up in here. So showing signs of life. I like what I'm seeing here. Getting tight with the moving averages. 50 coming for that 200. That's a golden cross front running. Last time you had a golden cross front run, it was right about there. And look what happened. A massive move to the upside. The real Fibonacci was this level here from the bottom to the top. And you can see that we went right here to the 786 and between the 786 and the 706. Very, very strong area. Once you find that, you want to zoom in and look for a bullish divergence. If you can find the bullish divergence near any one of the 618, the 706, even the 786, that's kind of the combination that you're looking for. So I'm watching Rosio Finance, Rose, for a possible move to the upside. This is looking tight into channel. That's a bull pennant. It almost, you could call it a symmetrical triangle, but I call that a bull pennant. Bull pennants break up 68% of the time. It's looking tighter and tighter. Oh my God, thank you. Shout out to everybody here on the live. So Rosio Finance looking tight in the channel. This thing could blast to the upside. Forgot to hit a button. Looking really nice to me. And when we pull the Fibonacci, which I just did from bottom to the top, you can see that we came down to the 786. Then you're zooming in and you're looking for a bit of a bullish divergence here. See? Bang, bang, bang. AGIX2L was the first thing that I looked at. Cup and handle, point of control. Can we get back above the point of control is what we're looking for. Low, high, higher low. Can we put in a higher high to keep the trend alive? Even here, high, low, higher high, higher low. That's a midi trend right there. I like what I'm seeing for AGIX. I am a whale, not a whale, but I'm whaling in to AGIX, grabbing more and more bags of AGIX for sure. So shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. I greatly appreciate you all for jumping on in and being here with the Crypto Lifer. Thank you. Let's break down Bitcoin. So this morning, I actually longed this, not with a lot of leverage. Just, I'm trying out some leverage on MEXC. I shouldn't, but I am. Look, so we're looking at this here. And look, that's a bearish retest. It fell down and it's bearishly retesting. If you're 15 minute, 15 minutes still has gas. So, but that is a bearish retest. The 5 minute is starting to show you that it could be. Or do you break back inside the pattern is the question. You could say, hey, we broke back inside the pattern. Now, if you stay inside the pattern, it will keep the pattern alive. And this will basically be a bear trap. They try to make people think to short the market. They reversed it right back up. It does have Bart Simpson vibes, and it looked like it could have completed the Bart Simpson there to the downside. What I am looking at is the double top. And this is what I'm talking about on the thumb when I say bearish pattern. You know, that's why it's not clickbait. This is the real deal Holyfield here. And if we look at the 1 hour time frame, we clearly double topped. I mean, that's a clear as day double top. All right. I'm going to show you some other ideas that could be playing out, and we'll go from there. But right now, the 1 hour wants to roll over on you with bearish divergence and a double top. So it's highly likely we're going to dump the measured move of the M. Honestly, the M isn't complete. Come here would be the completion. All right. And then you would take the measured move from the M to the M, and then this would, so you would be looking at a level here at 25,800. Maybe even that level there at 26,000, but you'd be looking somewhere around 26K, 25,800 for a drop to the downside. These are the areas that I would be looking for. Also, look at the 200 SMA is hanging out. A lot of times price action, once it gets really, really high and exhausted, where does it come? It likes to come and bounce or get close again or hang out at the 200 SMA. So, just, ideas here. We're getting tight. Just like if you flip this upside down, when we're tight and we pump up to the 200 SMA, same concept here that we could come down to the 200 SMA. So a pullback would make sense on the bigger time frame as well. All right. So this is just a scalp of the 15-minute. It may play out. Let's take a look at BOOKMAP to see if it has any liquidity higher or lower and what's happening. BOOKMAP shows me amalgamated data from Binance Futures, Bybit, and OKX. It shows me where the biggest orders are, where the biggest block of orders are, right? Like here's an order block, 26,500. You have 706 Bitcoins, 657 Bitcoins waiting to be bought in here, right? You have a bullish order block anywhere else really. Up there, 28,005. That's a bearish order block. They want to sell, and that's an order block there, one of the bigger ones at 28,100. These are areas where whales are attempting to sell Bitcoin. These are areas where whales are attempting to buy Bitcoin. 26K, 26,500. Look up like some good load up zones for Bitcoin. If you saw me, I layered a bunch of longs from 20,005 all the way up to 20,660 because you never know. If we get a dip down to that area, we talked about the CME gap. Last night was extensive. We went deep into the weekly chart. We talked about the CME gap. I gave you so much data. You can go back and watch last night's live stream. It'll break down really what's going on for the next few weeks. It was really awesome. We did CME. We did the weekly. We looked at, we looked at all those different areas on the daily that we have bounced off of. We talked about the daily being in that diagonal trend line that, is really kind of hanging out there. So let's break it down. Right now, it is bearish, Bear City, and that's a bearish retest. You tried to get back in, you couldn't on the 15-minute time frame. Yes, you're oversold in the stochastics, but that's just a momentum indicator. Anything is possible. So what do I see happening for the next 2 hours? Honestly, I'm waiting on the 15-minute to make a bit of a bounce. I long the 15-minute right around here. I'm technically down a little bit. It's just a very small trade, though, so it's not like nothing to write home about. I'm almost like embarrassed to show the trade because it's so small. You know what I mean? But whatever. I guess here, I don't care. So I'm down $8. You see what I'm saying? So I wasn't feeling it, so I wasn't going to load up heavy on that trade. I was like, I wanted to see if the 15-minute could break out. If it did and started to move, I was going to add to the trade. You see what I'm saying? Dip my feet into the trade. But right now, it's right? And I don't normally trade leverage. I really don't. I've made so much money just figuring out what coin's going to be hot and, knowing where to play and then swing trading certain coins that, my mind's addicted to doing that. Your mind's going to get addicted to whatever made you the most money. Think about it. If you leverage traded and made a lot of money, you're going to get addicted to that. If you swung trade and made a lot of money, you're going to get addicted to that. I've made most of my money swing trading. If I had to call myself anything, I would be a swing trader. All right. And I like swing trading personally for me and my lifestyle, for who I am as a person. I have a lot of passion. I have a lot of energy. I don't need anything else giving me more passion, more energy. Like I don't need to watch the 1 minute. I personally am already there. I don't need to get there. Other people, they're kind of laid back and chill, and leverage trading gives them that rush. To me, smelling a flower gives me a rush. Like watching a bee touch a flower. Like I know you think I'm insane, but I watch a bee touch a flower and I'm bugging. Like I'm like, whoa, like my heart is racing and I'm like, this world is amazing. I know you think you're like, this guy can't be real. But I'm serious, man. When I see that, you know what I mean? It's just, it's amazing. So anyway, yeah. What a beautiful life it is to be alive, man. What a beautiful life it is to be alive. Shout out to everybody here on the live. So we're watching this flag, and it is a cup and handle. See, it's got kind of cup and handle vibes. But again, you can't just I play by the chart. So double top on the 1 hour time frame, bearish divergence as well, right? And you can see the bearish div. This is kind of an uptrend slightly. That's a downtrend. Not the best sign, all right? Not the best sign. 27,900, we're flat. What a beautiful price to be at, though, right? I mean, after everything. So I'm going to get rid of all my old work. We don't need it anymore. I don't know why I had it here, but I just wanted to show you all weekend long, we nailed Bitcoin. I found this after the fact. I didn't see it then, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God. But we traded this cup and handle live on the live stream. We traded this stuff. It's so funny. I went live so much that because people would say you did it, and people were like, no, you didn't. Like, you just want to say you did. Like, but we did all this stuff live on the live stream. So like everything, a lot of things that we do here as lifers, you can see here live. So like anyone can say whatever they want about the technique you learned from me, but it plays out over and over again in front of people live, over and over again. You know what I mean? We even had this as a symmetrical triangle, if you remember correctly. Right here. And this was the new pattern. Then I said, you know, I had this like thumbnail and I was like, I found the pattern. I know where we're going to go, right? And because I found this pattern, I knew this was the measured move. And then when I slapped that there, it told me we could get up to about 28,806 and we got to 28,363. I mean, you know what I mean? So by understanding what was going on, I was able to piece together where we were going to go. And this is what I want you to understand so you're not using your emotions to trade. This is amazing. It's an amazing feeling. And you'll be blessed, all right? So let's move this. I don't like losing money, all right? I want to make that clear. I like making money, all right? So if I see something that is too risky, I'm not going to do it. The old me, I guess I would go all in. But once you jump away, when the dragon's coming to eat you and you have to either jump off of the ledge, right? Or like leap through a volcanic fire to survive, right? You're going to do it. But once you make it to the safety, are you going to go through those things again? No. So like I did high risk things to get where I'm at. Am I going to continue to do those things? No. I'm where I'm at now. You know what I mean? Like, like I got out. Like, I got out of the rat race. Like, I'm not trying to go back in. A lot of people get out of the rat race and they end up back in. Why? Because they're not humble with what they got and they start playing games. All right. Go look, type in, lottery winners that end up broke. It's crazy, but there's a lot of them. It used to fascinate me. I used to watch these documentaries. The guy's worth 300 mil. He ends up poor. How? Like buying people everything, goes into debt. Like it's just insane. Like I'll be honest with you, a little story for me. I started making, pretty good money. I started pulling in big money, on a trade. Things started happening well for me. Bitcoin started going up. And I was like, oh, I drive a Mercedes or an Audi, And I could easily afford it. Easily. Like, no lie. Like, I know people that drive those cars, and I'm pretty sure they don't make what I make a year. You know what I mean? And who cares? But the point of the story is, and I still got a Hyundai. Like, I still got, and sometimes you see people flossing. And honestly, and then you also think about your safety. You know what I mean? Someone sees a nice car, they're going to be like, yo, that's the guy they want to rob. You drive some little beater, they may never know. So, I don't know. It just... ideas, right, to stay alive. So I'm seeing this though. Look, I see an inverted head and shoulder, and I'm telling you why I'm long. I'm long on the patterns. I'm long on that inverted head and shoulder right now to the upside. I really am. I know the 1 hour doesn't look good, and I know we double topped, but I feel like the double top should have continued to the downside by now. And we're kind of getting resistance possible. Look, this is an idea. We had previous resistance. We hit it, we lost it. We came back up. That should have been the reversal point because it was the previous resistance, but it wasn't. We broke back up and we used it as support again. That's telling me a story in this support and resistance that something is brewing here and that my long end up playing out here to the upside. The 50-minute is very oversold. Honestly, I'll show you something else that will freak you out. Swing up to swing up, swing down to swing down. That is hidden bullish divergence. Slightly. I mean, some would say, no, you have to extend to this line, and then it's not. But even then, it's like, you could say, okay, fine. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, that was your pointage. Because that's when you started to rip point to point. Interesting. I'm feeling some hidden bullish, which tells me that you will make a high above this high to the upside. So we see an inverted head and shoulder here. Say we don't. Who here says this is an inverted head and shoulder? Let me know. Let me know if you think this is an inverted head and shoulder or not. I want to know. I want to know what you're thinking. Is this an inverted head and shoulder or not? All right. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. May God bless you all for jumping on in, baby. All right. So is this an inverted head and shoulder or not? You got to tell me. And I haven't popped up the chat yet for whatever reason. I'm behind the 8 ball on the day. 41,000 subscribers and counting, almost to 41,500. Can we get to 50K? Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to my lovers of life. Bless you all for being here. So I'm watching this inverted head and shoulder. I'm watching the previous support region. And, and also because I'm oversold, I'm expecting a bounce here on the RSI on the 15-minute. And there is a slight hidden bullish. Some would argue that it's not. And I'd agree with the argument 100%. I would, because I see the back and forth on it there. BOOKMAP still liquidating, and we got some more liquidity now at 28.6. And that's the closest order. Usually this ball will hit the closest red area. Now we have a massive buy wall down there that they have actually spread up. It was here. They've pushed it up now. They were at 25.5. They've flushed up a little bit to 26.5. They're not so bold now. And now you see price actually coming up and passing 28,000. And that's going to be a key psychological area too. We get back above 28K. So I'm long right now, Bitcoin, on this idea. I was long a little early. I'm probably back to break even now, right? And I also bought like basically $20,000 to almost $25,000 worth of Bitcoin between 21,000 and 24,000. And then even I bought like $4,000 more at 26.6 just the other day, and some at 27. You know what I mean? So I've been loading up on BTC, and I'm going to show you the bigger time frames and talk about why in a second. There's the short squeeze that we're getting. It seems like they always short squeeze at about 10:30. Remember, it's false move Monday, so we should pump up and just pump right back down. One thing that I do see happening here that we got to stay on top of is a shoulder ahead and a right shoulder possibly forming there if we can't get back above the zone. Do you see it? I'll take away everything. But see, shoulder, head, that could be possibly making a right shoulder too as well. Another idea, Bear City, you can't get back above 28,200. If you can't get a 4-hour or candle to close back above that zone, expect more downside. All right? Expect more downside. However, I like this bigger channel that's starting to form here, and it's looking pretty nice to me. Like we'll get wedged in the zone. That's an ascending triangle. That has a measured move to 29,800, something we must heed and pay attention to. Another thing that we're going to talk about is that 3-day chart, which I'm going to remind you every single day because you're going to forget if I don't remind you. I'm telling you, if I don't remind you, every single day you will forget, all right? And I'm going to show you this in a second now. And don't forget about these altcoins. They can pump hard the second Bitcoin makes a move. That 4-hour looks like it's going to make a blast to the upside. 41% gains for Roseon Finance, all right? And MEXC Global, remember, why do you trade on MEXC? MEXC is the place to trade, and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, highest profits, lowest fees in the game. MEXC Global, all right? 0% for both spot and future maker fees. I mean, you're starting out. A lot of people have $500 in their account. They don't have a lot. MEXC. Why would you want to pay a bunch of fees every time you get into a trade, right? You can't. So MEXC is the place to be. And look, 649% for X or D. SBCC 243. Yay, up 183. VK Naki. Coins you've never heard of. NME Bits, which I don't even know they had NME Bits. We did High Me Bits. I don't know what NME Bits is. Loop Knee Friend, which is interesting. These must be fractionals too. You got Lena, CKB Nervos up 25%. Look at all the top gainers you have here on MEXC. Similar to KuCoin too. We trade on KuCoin and MEXC mainly because the exchange has the low cap gems that can just make you salivate. Lately, Hex has been banging on them to the upside. Hex now on MEXC. It wasn't before. That put it up on the radar too. So you got the newest, you got market data. I'm telling you right now, and even their coin, the MEXC token, I believe that is going to continue to go up in value. So I like what's happening with MEXC. MEXC Global is the place to trade. Link in the description below if you would like to jump on into MEXC. And I'll make it super easy for you if you would like. And I only offer links to things that I use. I use BOOKMAP, so I have a link to it. BOOKMAP shows us where the liquidity is. If you were about to basically open up a short and you saw a huge sell order up in here, and you want to short right there, it may not be the best idea because there's a chance it's going to go up here and they're going to catch their short and you're going to get in the middle of it and you're going to get stopped out of your short. Same thing if you want a long, but you see a long lower than your long, you may want to hesitate. And then if you want a long and you see liquidity closer, it's likely these guys are going to get their way first and then we're going to come back down. So you may be able to scalp along here to the upside based on the liquidity. So I'm using BOOKMAP as just a hedge of probability of where I believe price action is going to go on top of everything else that I do, right? And it doesn't mean just because I see it, I'm doing it for sure. Like, oh, there it is, I'm going for it. I'm adding it. Like if the 50-minute was overbought and in a horrible head and shoulder right now, I wouldn't be, but the 15-minute is in somewhat of a flag, you see? And it did get a bounce here, and the stochastics want to point to the upside. I've also been doing this for a while now, like a year and a half with BOOKMAP, about a year with BOOKMAP, if you're here on the channel every day. And when we do that, and we do it with BOOKMAP, the key thing that I'm paying attention to, right, is when I had a pattern that coincided with the liquidity. And I've seen it many times. So because I've had a pattern that coincides with the liquidity, lo and behold, boom. So there's the pinned message to MEXC. It's going to make it real easy for you to jump on into MEXC. And you don't even have to send any money in there. Just register, have it there for yourself whenever you need it, whenever you want to get in. Yes, Leroy, but don't jump on trades unless you know about the pattern. Shout out to Jacob Shelton in the house. We won you over. You won me over, man. God bless you. I respect and love you now, man. I mean, you gave to somebody else out of the kindness of your heart. You didn't need to do that, so may God bless you. We earned another lifer yesterday. We earned another lifer. And here's the short squeeze coming to the upside. And you have to remember, pattern trading 101. You're at the top of the pattern. You come to the bottom of the pattern and you're oversold in the Stokes. You're likely to pump back to the upside. All right. So I see an inverted head and shoulder here that could make bacon on the beach. All right. How did I become a technical analyst? My mind just asked me, like, how did you get here, Sam? How did you get here? How is this even, like, what happened to you? When did you become a nerd? You know what I mean? 76,019 accounts. I don't even consider myself a nerd. I just, you know what? I took responsibility for my life. I realized that if I wanted to learn or to gain an edge in life, I had to get an education. And I had to learn something different. And so I got an education, and look what it did for me. And education will change your life. I would never be where I'm at without education. And it doesn't mean you have to go to school. I never let my schooling interfere with my education. Mark Twain, right? I never let my schooling interfere with my education. Mark Twain, all right? Oh, and I could even pin the trading group and MEXC, the two hot things that you want. So jump on into the trading group or Streamlabs merch. Oh, so it doesn't do, oh no, I grabbed the wrong, I get it. I have an idea. I have a cool idea. Well, because I love the trading group, but I also love MEXC. And you're like, you're like, well, so there we go. And if you want to buy merch as well. You know what I mean? We need to see more people hanging on to that merch. You know what I mean? Oh, did it not spawn it off? Hold on 1 second. Oh, no, it works. Excellent. Excellent. Both links work in the pinned comment. Did anyone else see the 1,000 UST minted at Tether Treasury? Exactly. A lot of Tether getting minted. $1 trillion? Did you say no? $1 billion? No, hold on. $1 billion US. Yeah, $1 billion Tether. Yeah. That came from the Federal Reserve. They were like, yo, we need to get into Bitcoin. What if the Federal Reserve secretly had to invest in Bitcoin to save the economy? And years later, we're going to come out and we're going to find out that they were buying Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin pumped, it was the only reason that we survived. All right. So the 15 minutes still has gas to the upside. But remember, the support or resistance could keep us on the lows here. So I'll get rid of the moving averages just for a second so you can see clear. We'll get rid of this for a second. You see it clear as day, though. You see the inverted head and shoulder, right? It's not just me. All right. If the Fed buys 1 million Bitcoin easy as cake, what I was thinking, what is the next valid endpoint after correction? What do you see? Just renewed for a second month in the group. Let's go. Lifer Daily Stream is my church. Shout out to Cape Crypto. God bless you, brother. DGen alts are fun. Charts, not so much. You're funny. What is the next valid input after a correction? What do you see? Control Z to put back the lines. Yes, easily. That's an editor. I did video editing for years, and we did Control Z for everything. So you got a broadening falling wedge here on the, see it? That's a bullish sign. You could break out on that. 15-minute suggests you're going to pump. So I'm giving the 15-minute its due diligence. What will happen, this will come up and either the Stokes will roll over halfway or will come up to the top and we won't get much of a punch. If you do not get a 1-hour candle closing above 28,419, expect more downside or we're just going to go sideways in the zone. This also is resembling to me an ascending triangle, half a rising wedge, but more of an ascending triangle. And to me, it's a 50-50 pattern. You're going to break down and touch 27,004 or you're going to break up to 29,877, depending on kind of how we look in the next 10 hours if we get tighter inside this channel. All right. There's also a chance we just break out right now out of the inverted head and shoulder. I am long. I've made it clear that I'm long right now, but I may be wrong. You never know. And I'm really just long in the 15. And in the next 2 to 3 hours, I'm going to know whether that trade really is valid or not. And I'm going to be able to figure out whether I want to close it. So I feel like it's a great place to long because I'll be able to validate or invalidate it without losing a lot of money. See, the key is the best trades, in my humble opinion, are ones that can be invalidated or validated without losing a lot of money. So you want to, you know what I mean? When the government could be stacking Bitcoin to back the dollar. Hi, Sam. I'm in your Discord. Can you explain something about the program BOOKMAP? Yes, BOOKMAP is amalgamated data. All right. All it is it's showing you an order book, just like the price of Bitcoin, 28,000, 27.5. Just like if you were on the exchange and you wanted to place an order to buy or sell Bitcoin. All right. Just like MEXC here, you're on MEXC and you want to place an order to buy or sell Bitcoin spot. You go to like spot and you want to buy and you got the order book here. And you see this order book and you could press an order you want. Same idea, right? So we're looking at BOOKMAP and we're looking at the order book. A big sell is a red ball. A big buy is a big green ball. The bigger the ball, the bigger the liquidity. All right. Where people want to buy and sell Bitcoin, you can actually see them lined up. This is actually what the candles are giving you. Get more information out of the candles. The best way to describe this is if you go to the BOOKMAP's website, in my humble opinion, and just look at how they see how the candles, there's the same candles, but they're just covering it over. This visual right here really gives you what you're looking at. And so I can see why we're going towards certain areas. I can see it. Basically, you're seeing order blocks. I'm able to see the order blocks on Bitcoin. All right. Or anything you need. All right. And it coincides a lot with the VRVP and with the way in which I'm trading. So we've been very accurate, very, very accurate. And so we're going to continue to do what we do. I'm not going to stop doing what I do because the system works. That's why I'm very wary when anyone else brings up anything else in my mind. Because and then they think I'm rude I don't want to be rude. But I'm stuck in a pocket right now. You know what I mean? And I got people to teach and people to show the way. And I don't want to be veering away from what I do. All right. 788 people, 278 likes. Pay the man. Smash that like button. We got to get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it if we got the likes up to the watchers. It would be a blessing. If you were doing a show, I am sincere enough and honorable enough. I would hit that like button for you. I'm telling you right now. I wouldn't play you. I would come through and hit that like button every single day, baby. Every single day. May God bless each and every one of you for being here. Thank you for coming on in. All right. So Bitcoin's kind of at a standstill, right? And we have, Jerome Powell coming out, and we got some speeches coming out this week too. So it's going to put a little bit of a tightness on the market. All right. Why are the Stokes turning up, but the money hasn't? Hey, it's all good. You know what you just said? That's my trading style in a nutshell. I like what he just said. See what he just said? My God, you just hit the nail on the head. Why are the Stokes turning up, but the money hasn't? That is the question. All right? That is the question. I'm going to be nice enough to give you my sauce because you never know. So here's my sauce. Stochastics do this. What we know about the stochastics is they complete their mission. Whether price does or doesn't. That was the key that I just said. Stochastics complete their mission. Price does or doesn't. This is very similar to a scientist doing a scientific experiment, right? You want to see when you add water or when you add, or when you extract hydrogen from oxygen, what happens? So you want to extract the hydrogen from the oxygen. Did anyone know what that is? How would you extract hydrogen from oxygen? You would use a Hoffman apparatus, all right? a Hoffman apparatus, and you would actually be able to extract the oxygen from the hydrogen from the water. All right. Why am I saying that? Well, each time you did it, you would add the water to the Hoffman apparatus. You would heat it, and it extracts the two substances. The point of the story is that's the constant. Okay. And so you need a constant in an experiment, like whatever you're doing. And honestly, even if you had a placebo, you gave people all the same drug, but you gave a section of people a placebo drug. All right. You need a constant when it comes to any type of data. So what you're doing right now is to me, this is a science because it's math and we're doing probability. And so it's a science and you're using data and probability. So you consider yourself a scientist, a probability statistician when you become a trader, because you are using statistics, not statistics per se, but you're using statistics from data. I mean, you technically, in a way, it's transferred statistics from data that you're taking away from the charts. Like statistically, Bitcoin does this every time the 200 breaks over the 500, all this stuff. So anyway, so price action will come down. Price action will come up. And then what it'll do is it'll go sideways when the Stokes go down. Now, the other way, it'll come up, it'll go down, and then it'll go sideways down here when the Stokes reset. And see what he just said? He said, how come the Stokes are moving, but the price isn't? All right? That is how I make tons of money. That's the key to my swing trading. Because when I see that price action is flat, but Stokes reset, likely we're going to get a drop. Last night, I was able to put out a short trade. Highly likely it played out on the 7-minute time frame. How did I know it was going to play out? Let's take a look at it. It was, where was it? Down here. I'll have to maybe go look at it again later. Yeah, then we called the divergence, right? Let's see. I'm just going to look at it inside the trading group. But this is key. Bear with me here, and then we're going to jump back into our regular scheduled program. This is all the work we do here in the trading group. You get access to so much data. We called the pump yesterday perfectly as it happened. Like, it was insane. If you were in the trading group, it was nuts. Like, look, yesterday, 12:33. If the move comes, it comes now. I called the exact moment it happened. Less than 30 seconds later, it would start to pop, and then it was out of control for a massive move that we're still holding to this day. It's just nuts. If we did that just once a week, but we do it almost every single day, it's insanity. Absolute insanity. So I'm going to bed last night, and where am I? 7:31 p.m. We did the live stream. There it is right here. And I drew this bear flag, likely to break to the downside. It's exactly where we end up going last night. Because look, price action should have come back up, but the Stokes did. The Stokes made it back to the dotted line, but price action didn't break above its high. It's a very simple way to trade for me. If you can understand this concept over and over again, it can make you a lot of money. All right. So look now, 7-minute is overbought, just like I talked about. And look, now you're in a bear flag again. And that's likely to come back down. You see? You could extend this possibly. Chance we still double bottom and we don't, And now I know that we're likely to drop because we came back on the Stokes, but we didn't make it above the high. A lot of my predictions that make me look so smart when everyone's watching, it's all based on the idea of probability and stochastic RSI. All right? And I'm not guaranteed to be right, but I'm telling you right now, this is like 90% spot on, man. For me, in my life. It's highly likely, right? So if this starts to dump down and we see a massive dump and you break this low, right? And then we already talked about this being a possible shoulder, a head and a right shoulder, and if that dumps, so now if you see the dump, and then we also said this is an M, right? But I thought you were long. I was until I wasn't. I'm smart enough to be open-minded. I'm never long or short. I'm whatever I gotta be at the moment in time until price action gives me the confirmation. See, as a trader, you'll eventually realize that, you'll make a decision based on the probability. You'll be like, you know what? I got along that. You know, like I still have a long open. Do I just close it? It's not that big a long to really worry about. Down $10, $12, you know what I mean? $6. So might just instant close it, you know? What I want to do is trade $500 to $5,000 using tiny lev, you know? But it's just not my style. So, but it may be your style. Many people use my TA for leverage trading. It's up to them. They do whatever they want, you know? And again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. Please get yourself a financial advisor and do your own due diligence before getting into any project, coin, or trade. Please. All right? If you're new to the channel, my name is Samuel James Price. I started trading 15 years ago, trading regular markets. I got into gold and silver because I knew about inflation in 2010 and 11. I started buying gold and silver back then because I was afraid that they were going to print too much money and they were going to make me go broke. I was right. And many economists and people older than me were right. Who did I find online was Peter Schiff. Back in 2008, 2007, he's telling me the housing crisis is going to come, and it did come. When I see a man make a prediction like that, I went to Schiff Gold and began to buy gold and silver. It was simple. I was 24, 25 years old, and I began to buy gold and silver. Lo and behold, it's now been a 15-year journey in finance and in precious metals, and thank God I got into precious metals because it gave me the ability to understand. Now, of all my friends, I was the only one I knew buying gold bars. My friends were laughing at me. My friend was like, my dude's like, why don't you get a moniker, bro? How old are you, man? And I would show my friend my gold bars, and I remember him just being like, he was fascinated at one point. I said, man, you got to start buying some gold, man. And he thought I was out of my mind. Most people did, you know? But I told him inflation was coming, and then I kept it up. 2010, 2012, I kept it up. I went on Instagram and talked about it. My Instagram got to almost 14,000 followers before it got kiboshed because of my open-mindedness. And I think, you know, what I don't know. We don't even still know. Maybe it was an aggressive, we don't know to this day. We don't know. So I'll leave it open-minded, but it's funny. This is even a shoulder, head and shoulder. I'm trusting the bigger pattern here, this inverted head and shoulder. I'm just trusting it. You see? I'm just trusting that we're going to get the move to the upside based on the pattern. And this trend line is nice too. But I'm also heeding the fact that the 7-minute could dump me. I'm open-minded. That's the key. You got to be open-minded if you're going to be trading every single day of your life. All right? Or you're going to get hurt. All right? And you're not right or wrong. You're just playing a probability. You know, I have this awesome thing I keep talking about, Trading in the Zone. You got to go listen to Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. So important. It's free on YouTube. And honestly, the best things in life are free. Mark Douglas, Trading in the Zone will blow your mind. Blow your mind. And he talked about a little kid. He goes to a dog and the dog bites him, right? He says a 2-year-old, you know, gets bitten by a dog. Now, when that 2-year-old becomes 3 or 4 and he sees a really friendly dog, he's probably going to be wary of it and not want to go near it. And he's going to assume that that dog is just like the first dog that he encountered. But that's not true. That's actually a false, you know, a false belief system. That's not going to, but there's no reason to believe, but you can, you know, it's an insane idea that other dog would act like the dog before. The other dog could be a golden retriever and could have been a family pet. And the other dog could be like an attack dog. You know what I mean? So they're not the same dog at all. But to the kid, all he perceives is that he got hurt. This is how traders react when they lose a trade. All you can perceive is that every trade you enter is a loser, and you're going to lose again, and you can't get out of it. This is the mentality you're stuck in. But that could not be further from the truth. No further than that 2-year-old believing that the next dog he encounters will bite him. I hope I just blew your mind. You don't have a right to believe the next trade, every single trade is independent of the last trade. Every time you put on a trade, it's completely independent of the trade before it. And let me explain why. Let me break down why. You got this falling wedge here, okay? And you trade a falling wedge to the upside. And yes, it breaks up. Then you have this falling wedge, and you want to trade this falling wedge, let's say, to the upside. Not the best. I'm just trying to, like, slap some stuff together here, you know. But, okay, both break up. Just because this one broke up doesn't mean this one will. And if you think this is the same exact pattern, it's not. The pattern is this, maybe it resembles the same, but the exact amount of traders in this trade that are in that trade, answer me right now. Like, if you're in this trade, so basically the eclectic group of unique traders is never the same in every single trade. For instance, this little flag here, it would be impossible to say that You know, because one guy might be from Australia. He might be in bed. This guy might be from a different part of the world. These two flags both break out, but they had so for you to believe that because you lost your last few trades, the next trade is going to fail is insane. It's an insane concept. It's not fair to you, and it's not a real idea because no trade goes the way every trade is unique to itself. Every single trade is unique to itself, just like every dog that child encounters is unique to himself. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Did this blow your mind? Shout out to Gina. Gina, this is serious, though. I'm being serious. I want people to really focus here. Always saying tips and nonsense. Trading, could you check out the charts? I posted the 99. Just an idea I have. Maybe. I'm just trying to stay focused. Psychology of Trading is such a relevant read / watch today. I'm telling you right now, trading in the zone. So you cannot believe just because you've lost the last 10 trades that the next trade won't play out. It's just not fair. It just doesn't make any sense. That's you telling yourself that you know everyone in the trade and the trade's going to go the exact same way as the last one because you know everybody that's in the trade. And you don't because the same amount of people and the same people are not in every trade. That would be impossible. So think about it logically. You're beating yourself up for an insane reason. It doesn't make sense. And you're not being fair to yourself. Okay? You're not being fair to yourself. All right? 15-minute is getting aggressive, and it could pin this 7-minute time frame here out of this broadening falling wedge. All right? I've already stated that I'm long, and this is an inverted head and shoulder inside of an ascending triangle. If anything, Bitcoin could go sideways, and if Bitcoin goes sideways inside of this little zone and just ranges between 28,400 and 27,009, that's going to help out these altcoins pump for the afternoon. So I believe we can leave Bitcoin alone for now. I like what we're seeing. The only expectation we should have is the result, and that's why I'm not scared to put in a trade. No mind blown, an adult here, but good advice. Can't live according to previous experience only. Trading in the zone changed everything for me. I love that you said that. Mark Douglas, offer of trading in the zone. Shout out to Michael Miller. I agree mathematically, but low R equals 20% on the same token, only for independent events, will eventually equal a 1 at 1,000. Hey, God bless you, man. You're above me on the math, and I'm not going to say you're not. Just bought Trading in the Zone and the Disciplined Traders by Mark Douglas. Jonathan Lavoie, man, you made a smart decision for the rest of your life. May God bless you. I should get an associated link for Trading in the Zone on Amazon or something. I'm going to look into that because why not? You know what I mean? Because I pushed Mark Douglas's Trading in the Zone like it's the Bible of life because I believe it is. Because I believe it is. So sideways price action. We got that flag on the 7, which I'm getting rid of just for messiness. We got this broadening falling wedge, and we got the inverted head and shoulder inside of an ascending triangle. Who else gives you that many insane patterns in once? And they're all there. They're all there. Rain Man, baby, Rain Man. Shout out to Brute. You know, I always say, did I rustle the crow's feather with my beautiful mind? Can we check Doge, head and shoulders on the 1 hour with a golden fib retracement? And an inverted or a head and shoulder? God bless you, Sam. You're doing God's work. Lots of head and shoulders on the altcoins. Inverted head and shoulder or head and shoulder? I took 40 to 50 page screenshots of that book. It was awesome. I'm listening to Trading in the Zone on YouTube. That's what I've been doing. I've been listening to it on YouTube for free. The amount of TA in the trading group is amazing. Thank you, Sammy. 99. Anytime, my friend. Super chats, IOI, DXY, and Doge. And of course, we're going to look at the DXY. So back to ES1. S&P futures. I was about to say, like, what a funky. Okay, so we talked about the S&P, and we wrote no good. Basically said that we cannot break back inside this white pattern. The S&P must continue to the upside. It just must. You know what I mean? So here's the deal. Let's take a look. Messiness, right? Get rid of my moving averages for a second, just so I can see what's happening. So again, remember, you guys know the bigger pattern that we've been looking at for like months now. Up, down, up, down. It's a fall, broadening falling wedge, really. Then we retested right there, and we bounced. We called out the bounce. We even called this cup and handle back in there. All this stuff. We even called the reversal right here for the S&P, if you remember, in October. I basically have a video right here where I said the S&P will reverse. Markets will reverse. I called the $3,500 reverse for the S&P. That video will sit in stone, And if we end up going up here, that will sit in stone forever as a reversal call for the S&P. And I said, I'm going on a limb here. I'm going to be bold. I'm making a clear statement. The S&P is reversing here. Anyway, whatever. I got lucky, I guess. On the other hand, optimistic rollups have a challenging period between submitting the rollup and acceptance on the base chain. Interesting. Live and around the blockchain Thursdays at 5 p.m., a BitBoy show that shares the latest crypto news and project reviews. Support the Lifer and the Lifer community every single Thursday at 5 p.m. Jump on in. Also, get yourself a hardware wallet today. Get yourself a hardware wallet. Link in the description below to a Trezor Touch, my favorite hardware wallet. You absolutely love it. Jump on in. Get yourself a hardware wallet today. So look, ES1, S&P future. It's getting tighter in the zone, and it's in a symmetrical triangle. The 12-hour says it's going to dump to the downside. It's kind of got a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. It's not good. I talked about the fact that we need to break back inside this yellow box. We just have to get there. If we can't get back inside there, what if the S&P collapses? What if we finally decouple? Bitcoin's been pumping. S&P has not. We have clearly decoupled. We can make that clear. Bitcoin has far outperformed the S&P at this point. Majorly. S&P went from 3,500 to a high of 41. All right? That's 1/7 of its price action. And then it came back down and gave half of it back to 3,850. So it's up basically 350 on 3,500 bucks. It's up 10% exactly right now. Bitcoin on its low was 16 and went all the way up to 28,000, right? That's 12,000 on 16. You can do the math. That is 75% easily right there at 3/4. Right there. 12 of 16 is 3/4. Perfectly done. So Bitcoin is up 75%. The S&P is up 10%. You do the math. All right? Who is the wiser? Remember when everyone's like, I like to trade the stock market? And I'm like, eh. And I was just like, I'm always like, but why? I think ARB airdrop will have an effect on the alts. The Arbitrage airdrop, it may, I don't know. Bitcoin mentioned Renina Inu, the original code for Shiba. Funny. False move Monday, preparation for FOMC release date, and off we go. Exactly what he's saying. Same thing, sideways price action. So all we need to do, though, is just make sure we don't go into the no good zone. Right? Right now, the 1 hour is overbought, too, and so that's not just showing you. Look, you got a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. V-shaped recovery. Now you have a shoulder, head, and a right shoulder. So here's the deal. This is the pattern that we're watching for the S&P futures. If you are trading stonks and you're a stonk guy or a stonk girl, you're a stonk lady or you're a stonk man. Up and down, up and down, up and down in the tighter channel. I'm going to get rid of this for now. It's a bit absurd. The top trend line's official. We got to break that top trend. It's in a falling, broadening wedge as well. It's mimicking the bigger channel. And it's got the symmetrical triangle that it's building inside. It could break down for a double bottom. It's still interesting. And so it's got this measured move, and it could break down and still bounce there on a bear trap. We just want to close candles right in here on a daily. So S&P looks like it's going to stutter today, though, in the 1 hour time frame. It's getting a little overbought. Does it make that shoulder head and that right shoulder on the 1 hour? So, again, if you're trading stonks, and maybe we don't have to look at the S&P anymore. We seem to have kind of left it in the wayside. But I'm still going to go over it kind of traditionally until we just definitely don't have to. Remember the day we're just going to be like, we're not coupled to it anymore. We just don't. It's kind of happened already. Because this is attached to the legacy banking system, which is going down the tubes, and Bitcoin isn't. So, that's why they're not the same. Everyone tries to say Bitcoin's a tech stock. See, guys that trade stocks looked at Bitcoin as a tech stock, and they just traded it like that. But guys that were deep into gold and silver like I was and got into Bitcoin because they knew about inflation and they studied the history of finance, those guys are completely different. We have been looking at this in a completely fundamental big picture idea, and we go after Bitcoin in a completely different idea. And we know that Bitcoin eventually is just going to skyrocket in a completely different way than the tech stocks. But the tech stock guys can't see that. So for a while, they're on the same page as us because they're looking at the correlation between the S&P and their trading. But they don't get the bigger picture, all right? Seeing the bigger picture is a big deal, all right? Trust the weekly for the S&P. Look at the weekly, lifer. Yeah, weekly looks great. And we talked about this too, and went over the fact that it retraced to a 618 Fibonacci level. I guess you could take this fib here. Not even though, actually, just a 0.5. It may go lower to the 618. But it did a nice bounce from that resistance point and is bounced up nicely. Yeah, the weekly looks pretty good to me too. Actually, still has downward momentum though. Just crossed the dotted line. You could see more pain with a double top there. So I don't know if it looks that good. 10-day chart's about to tank on you. That's not a good sign. All right. Let's look at Bitcoin's 10-day chart. Also wants to tank. Last few times Bitcoin's 10-day chart was like that, we had a massive dump to the downside. We'll address the bigger time frames later on in the show. But I hope I might have just given you the chills. Ooh, the heebie-jeebies. Mike Maloney plus Trading in the Zone changed my mentality. That's what it is, Lakochi. That's what it is. I'll make an Instagram post about that today. That's what I should make my Instagram post about. Mike Maloney and Trading in the Zone. And how getting new information changes your life. Should I sell or hold my 1875? You do whatever makes you happy, man. I can't believe you're asking people what to do with your own money. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. Please get yourself a financial advisor. You can see the words right there, not financial advice, clear as day. It's one of the biggest things you can see there. And, I'm a teacher, you're a student. I will never manage your funds. I'll never go over your portfolio and tell you what to do. I'll never tell you what to buy or sell. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You see other YouTubers saying stuff like that. That's not smart. Not a smart idea. Anyway, moving forward. S&P does not look good on the 1 hour time frame. Says we're going to stall out or go sideways here. So, on the radar. We want Bitcoin to go sideways so we can continue to the upside. That's what we're looking for. Desire, dedication, discipline, and determination every single day. People want to sue you. Funny. Can I get an amen? You're funny. That cracked me up. You trade stonks. But why? Right? Like, I just don't get it. You know what I mean? So you can watch the S&P tank in your face. No, I'm just joking. But I don't get it, right? Let's take a look at the total market cap of all of cryptocurrency. The total market cap of all of crypto. And let's break down what we've talked about. And this chart really has been really holding us down because we can see big levels of support and resistance. So we talked about this being a bit of a cup and handy. And it broke out. Let's kind of revisit the idea. So we had the bearish divergence, but we held the previous support and resistance and we bounced. So support and resistance to me is the strongest. It trumps all. It trumps divergences. It trumps everything. So I kind of had this idea. What if this is the bear trap? We end up back down here and we test $950 billion. There's a chance. There's a chance we could do that. I'm fighting something right now. I don't know why. A little bit of a scratchy throat. It's got me a little under the weather, but I'm going to make it. Don't you get me wrong. I'm not. Clearly not, My energy is at its apogee actually and factually increasing daily rapidly. But, I wrote that. That was a rhyme I wrote when I was 19 years old in Venice Beach. I remember writing it and I remember recording it. The first time I ever recorded a rap song, I was lying on the floor with my face on a pillow because I didn't know where else, and I hung the mic from a chair, you know what I mean, from the bottom of a chair rung, so the mic would just hang because I had nowhere else to place to kind of and I put the pillows in the chair, so I had this little chamber, and I played the music loud, and I rapped into another, I used to record. It was insane, but, Anyway, total's in a beautiful bull pennant too. There is a bearish divvy there that's continuing, though. It's like triple bearish divergence. You see that? You got to heed that. Not a great sign, but I'm telling you right now, just like when there's bullish divergence and the market's tanking, it only gets you so far. Same thing with bearish divergence when the market's pumping hard. It only gets you so far. So the 1 hour is looking to reassume its move, and the 4 hour wants to blast. 4 hour wants to blast, and you have a hidden bullish divergence. You really do, because that's a swing down and that's a sharp swing up. I mean, that's a hidden bullish. Tells you the trend should continue to the upside. I even see the shoulder, head, and the shoulder there just completely negated. So you negated a head and shoulder pattern. You're getting tighter in the zone. You're well back above the $1.0 trillion level. Doesn't look like you're going to leave it or break it. So this is interesting to me. You got a hidden bull that kind of negates the bearish divergence there. But I can still see a shoulder, head, almost the right shoulder. But that oversold stochastic on the 4-hour time frame. And that's another thing about trading. You'll have a bunch of techniques. You'll learn one, then you'll learn two, then you'll learn three, then you'll start combining them. At one point, you'll have one indicator that you feel the most comfortable with over all the other ones. You'll go through your list, but at the last moment, you'll be like, you know what? And for me, that's my stochastics RSI. So once I see that we've broken above a previous resistance, we've tested it, we've came back up, we've tested again, we've came back up yet again, we formed some type of consolidated sideways bullish price action here. I'm oversold in the 15 and the 1 hour and the 4-hour time frame. And the 1 hour is heading down, but could get flipped by just, I do see the shoulder, the head and the right shoulder, and I know we could dump at any moment in time, right? I'm open-minded that anything could happen, but total market cap is looking somewhat more bullish to me too. And that would take us to $1.29 trillion. Now, if we lose it, we're going to obviously fall back down and test this point of control, or is this high volume node at 1.04. Then we're going to test this order block here at 989 bill. And then if we lose that, we're going to go to the value area low at 869 or just this longer trend line. So I want to see if this is a bear trap out of this symmetrical triangle or if something bigger is brewing here for Bitcoin. Also, we kind of have this diagonal trend line on the total market cap that Bitcoin broke out of, but you almost didn't break out of this one yet here too. So you kind of have this strange pattern still in play a little bit. You're kind of out of resistance. It's weird. Bitcoin easily broke out of this, but the total market cap did not break above it. Usually when Bitcoin does something, it front runs the total market cap. Because it does it, then the altcoins follow, and Bitcoin's about 48%. So if the altcoins follow, the total market cap will follow. You understand that? So that's kind of the concept that we're putting down right now. Shout out to the 863 beautiful souls in the live. 458 likes. May get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate that. It would be awesome if we did that. STX has been a hot coin. Definitely something you may want to put on the radar. We had it like this. It would go up right out of this little symmetrical triangle and pump to the upside. Eventually would hit that target, but the target wasn't from there, right? So let's reassess the situation. How you would have played it. Well, you can see, look, shoulder, head, and right shoulder, and just played that inverted head and shoulder. Same kind of idea as Bitcoin. This thing tends to follow Bitcoin pretty nicely. And it's in this flag. Measured move to the upside is just like this. If you should trade Stokes the way you want, the way you should trade them, just kind of openly. Slap on our moving averages back again, and 21 is touching price action though, and you're pushing up on the stochastics RSI. And again, you have a hidden bullish. You got to swing to the upside while this is swinging to the down. That tells you that the trend's going to continue to the upside. Very, very likely. That's an ascending cup and handle too as well. The cup is ascending to the upside. I like what I'm seeing on the 4-hour for STX. Thing has been hot. It may come back down to the bottom of the pattern somewhere in that zone. 47% gains coming. Have to be a little closer to entry than I'd like to be. Not a lot of protection for the stop loss. One area there because you have previous resistance in there and previous resistance there. Gives you a 236. It's a little riskier of a trade than I want to be because I got to make the stop loss kind of too close for the way, the number I don't really sweat. I just look at kind of where price action is. If that slips down and wicks out, you're easily getting stopped out. You know what I mean? So I would actually almost have to wait for it to drop to the bottom of the pattern. See if the 7 minutes overbought and it could cool off. It is. So yeah, I'd wait for the 7 minute to kind of come down a little bit maybe. Give me one more good entry if possible. But honestly, it looks like the 7 minute is broken out and it's retesting. If I had to be like pretty hypocrite, a stickler about that, that's a retest in my humble opinion. Stokes are high, which has me somewhat confused. They're not matching. Normally a retest and low Stokes would be coincided. So interesting. But I'd be looking to snatch an entry on this somehow, some way. Either a pullback to a bean. That a bean is a buck psychological support. So I'm looking for this, interestingly enough, to get to 172, though. And it's been following Bitcoin really well. If that could be the retest, that could be the possible move right there. If that ends up, you wait for the 7 minute to get compliant, or you just get in, I do one or two things. I wait for the 7 minute to comply. You will comply, or basically I project and I want the 7 minute to kind of fill out the projection, or I would like to see it curve off without losing any moves. That looks like a retest to me. Possible. All right. There's a bearish divvy there too, though, which isn't the best. But some would say that it's played out, and you got the hidden bullish now. So some mixed signals in the altcoins. Bitcoin would have to go up or sideways. We couldn't get a massive dump on Bitcoin. That wouldn't be a good look. That would take this down. But I'm watching this closely now. 13% to gain 50. 381 risk-reward ratio. It looks like we could actually slug it down to 282 there for a 17% stop loss. And this thing's been hot, right? So we know that it could pump and continue to pump. The bigger time frames, they say that you're spent, and but you're not that far away from the 21. Right there, you're not that far away from the 21 too. But you are getting pretty overbought on the daily. 3-day chart still has gas. And look, the 3-day did what we were talking about on other coins. The moving averages got tight, and it pumps up to the 200 SMA on the 3-day chart. Then it got above it and got crazy too. 3-day chart's been a really aggressive chart to trade. All right. When I have gold hit 2K, lifer, commodities, man. A while ago, it hit 2K last night, man. Bitcoin, LTC. Well, let's take a look at our baby gold. Gold, baby gold. And I used to trade gold. I used to look at the price of gold the first thing I woke up in the morning and the last thing I did before I went to bed every single night. Look, it's got the shoulder head and the right shoulder. It's interesting. It's very similar to BTC now. They're kind of more coupled than you thought. Now, I've been talking about this since April of 2011. You watch on my channel, we used to actually show this every day, but we stopped. Oh, there it is. Yeah, funny. But there's the cup and handle for gold. And it tells me we're going to 3,600, 2,900 by November of 2027 at the latest. 3 years, gold will be $3,000 an ounce, maybe more. I can see the dust. So weird. Crypto GPT MEXC Global. Thank you. You're the man. Shout out to After Hours Investing. We'll take a look at that GPT on MEXC Global. Super chats, IOI, DXY, Doge, XRP, and GPT. Thank you so much for the super chats. $21.80 and 88 cents in chat revenue. God bless you. Gold and Bitcoin are much more correlated at the moment now than now that you mentioned it. Yeah, I mean, they should be. They should be. They're becoming risk-on assets. They're basically helping you circumvent the issues of the traditional market, and that's what you need. It's like a painting or a classic car, something that's somewhat uncorrelated due to scarcity, and that's what you need. So gold in this beautiful cup and handle. Let's take a look at our weekly for gold, as it's on a mission right now and just getting started. Inverted head and shoulder on the weekly for gold. And there's a bunch of different gold stocks out there that people can look at to trade gold. PAXGBTC. Funny, it may not be doing that well because, Bitcoin's been doing well. So you're better off playing PAXGUSD if it's out there, right? Yeah, see, look, it's been struggling. It had a huge move up. But that's what you do. You play gold against Bitcoin, Bitcoin against gold, right? But right now, interesting, it does say it's going to beat up on Bitcoin, which is weird. It says it looks good on the weekly. It is a smaller asset. What if they pump together? And Bitcoin pumps up gold goes from 2,000 to 3,000. That's going to be a 50% move, right? And Bitcoin goes from, let's say, 20,000 to 60,000, right? And that's only, actually, I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand how PAXG can beat up on gold, but maybe it's derivatively. I don't know. It's interesting, but the weekly says it can. Doesn't make 100% sense to me. Because of Bitcoin, and but maybe Bitcoin struggles and gold rallies. This says Bitcoin struggles and gold will rally. Shout out to my DSLA fiends. And that coin's just continuing to do its thing. Up 34% and never hit the stop loss. Shout out to anyone that jumped into DSLA for the gain. Someone asking me about Solana. We put it in that little flag. It looks like the flag did pump to the upside. You see that? Bang. And how much did that make? These are previous super chats, things that I went over 10%, 5%, and never hit the stop loss for Solana. A little, looks like a bear trap there with some bearish divergence now. I didn't sell any of my gold, no. Great energy here. God bless you. Shout out to Sally Usman, man. Dude, the energy is the way to be. You got to have the best energy in the game. God has blessed me with a YouTube channel. I don't have to go to work for the rest of my life, right? I'm 40 years old. In 2 weeks, I'll be 40 years old. And I'll never have to work for another human being for the rest of my life, except for my own employees. I work for my employees. I work so hard to make sure that or not even employees, dream catchers, dream makers, people that dream with me. So I talked about BAX. I put it out here in this channel, and you can see it is up huge. Absolutely huge. And when did we drop this trade out? We put this out on 3.7. Trade hit for 14%. So I first put it out on 3.6. BAX right here. Inverted head and shoulder, about to make the move. 4-hour time frame, see inverted head and shoulder about to make the move. It will go up and down, but never hit the stop loss and continue to the upside. We can pull this away from entry now. And this thing has mooned. 92% gains out of BAX since, and it was given on 3.7. Unbelievable. Only 13 days to make 105% gains. And the whole market was insane. But we gave you the winner. No stop loss got hit in the making of this trade. Posted on 3.7. Then even updated nicely. Posted on 3.6. And then updated nicely on 3.7. And then said it was in a continuation flag as well. Pretty insane. It would take its time. It would dump out of that. Come back up. You could redraw the pattern. This thing would continue to the upside. But hey, there was the entry. There was the stop loss. There was the take profit. It went even higher than that. 105% gains for BAX. BAX just absolutely doing damage to the game. All right. Okay. BAX, man. And that was posted 3.6 and then would continue to the upside. Crazy. I just trip over gains. Tripping over gains. I want more gains. You don't want to hear me R&B sing because I'm not an R&B singer. 27,930. And now we're getting liquidations on both sides. It's a Monday. It's choppy Monday. False move Monday. You can't figure out which way we're going. They don't want to give it to you. See, I always look for tight moving averages. I always look for this. I just do the same thing over and over and over again. Salam alaikum, lifers. Shout out to Rizwan bin Malik. May God bless you, man. Alhamdulillah, my friend. I don't know how all my 35 plus old friends came to party with me when I was 18. I feel old. Funny. Sam is the man. Shout out to Jebatron. No, you're the man. Shout out to the 827 beautiful souls on the live. Thank you for jumping on in and being a part of the live stream. Let's finish these super chats and get it in. Let's look at IOI, which had a nice little move out of the flag. Did it hold the position? Let's go over it. So it pumped nicely for about 25%, came back down, but it's still holding the zone. You see it? Still holding the zone. So it's just really just like still in the game. 4 hours oversold, ready to rock. So this thing looks like it's just consolidating more and more bullishly, in my humble opinion. 4 hour looks amazing. Trade's still open. Really no reason to close it, in my humble opinion. It bounced off the 618 already, too. So it's done what you want it to do for a healthy retracement. May take its time, but I'm sticking with it. IOI still looks absolutely beautiful on the 4 hour time frame. All right. And you want to pick your time frames too. It's a 4-to-1 risk reward ratio. It's got a lot going for it. Shout out to anyone that talks about IOI. Thank you for the super chat. A lot of you give me the good idea for IOI, baby. I don't ever claim to be a one-man show. There's teams of people around the world that come out and help the lifer every single day, whether it's a super chat, whether it's support, whether it's getting somebody into the trading group, whether it's helping somebody else out, you name it, it gets done. Shout out to everybody that loves life, man. Life is an amazing, amazing experience. Let's take a big sip. And I'm just going to drink this whatever I got out of my system. So look, water though, not the other way around. I've heard other people say the same thing about other stuff. I'm just going to drink till it's So, I mean, we got this, channel. And you got the 200 SMA. You get above that, you're going to move. You got a hidden bullish too. The same kind of, not really, though. No. Almost. If that dumps more. You got a shoulder head and a shoulder that could dump you. This is your value area low, all right, which is kind of a known place to load up on price action where the VRVP gets scant, and starts to kind of mill off. That's kind of a great area to be getting into price action. You can grab your fixed range too and look for your lows and your highs here. There's your low. See, value area low, value area high. Like that would be a great place to take some profit on Doge at 12 cents. You see? Here's another order block there at 10 cents. And then, honestly, what they also do, if you never even use the VRVP, I mean, you have a bunch of chop right there. And you can see chop right there. So wherever chop is, it's support or resistance, everybody. Whether you want to play support or resistance, order blocks, whether you want to look at volume, because think about it. Why is that? Well, what is an order block? An order block is a lot of buying and selling that created a known area of volume that institutions specifically will want to revisit and where you should want to know where it is, because that way you can trade with an institution. All right? So you're not getting wrecked when price action gets rocked. How is an order block created? It's created by people buying and selling. So there has to be a lot of candles up and down at an order block. You get it? You can't have a flat area like price. Let me show you something. So price action goes up fast, then consolidates, goes up fast. You can't have an order block really in here because it's too smooth. So you can't have order blocks really there and there. They have to be in consolidation. And where do you do your support and resistance? In consolidation. So just by complete coincidence and just fair value, an order block is always going to be where you see price action. All right. So whether you know your support or resistance, whether you use your order block, whether you use the VRVP, whether you use any other program like that, and that's why I like BOOKMAP a little differently, because you can always find the order block, I believe. But can you see where the exchange actually has the orders? Like, can you see where someone's really trying to get the price to? That's what I want to know. Where are the whales hiding out? And so right now, look, they kind of got scant. They don't want you to see what's happening. They want to flatten price action right now. At the end of the day, we do have a 28,005, 29,000 area here that we could go up. It's the closest area of liquidity, and it's where the most orders are. And then they have this kind of safety net at 26 and 26,500. All right. Volume pivots, baby. Exactly. Volume pivots. Exactly. You could call them volume pivots too. Whatever you want to call them. Same exact idea. Yep. Master IBM, second largest technology company, has launched a token called VIOT. Would be a gem with only $22 million market cap. Oh, I bought VIOT. You know when I first bought VIOT? I'm going to see if I can find when I first bought it in my trading group like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago or something like that. I was researching it and I was liking it. And I have it in my wallet somewhere. So here we go. Look. Here's my buddy Von Deer. All right. And he's like, filled VIOT. Thanks, Crypto Lifer. Right? This is on, what's the date? Right? April 17th, 2021. We were getting into VIOT 2 years ago. 2 years ago, man, I knew about this coin. We've been doing things in my trading group for a long time. Like people don't even realize, but they will. I think eventually they're going to get it. Eventually they're going to get it. Look, here I am on 410. Low cap gem on Uniswap. CoinTrader Pro. I'm putting out my first chart of VIOT on April 10th of 2021. Coming up on 2 years ago, a day after my birthday. See? So we love VIOT. VAI is hot, man. So back to the super chats. Dogecoin. It looks interesting to me. The daily and the 22 are kind of our outliers. Like, they got to have to bend or, you know, we got daily resistance to deal with. So, like, I'll delete everything and just look at it again fresh because that's just how I am. Resistance, resistance, bounce point, resistance, resistance, resistance. All right? Inverted head and shoulder. You could play that inverted head and shoulder and call it a day. And if Bitcoin moves, Doge will move. Bitcoin dumps, Doge will dump. Bitcoin goes sideways, Doge could continue to move. So I'm bullish on Doge right now. Couldn't get the move as long as it stays above this trend line. I like the bending 21. It's a pretty good sign that even though you're overbought on the 22, you could get a pullback, a push up. Still got legs on that. And does the 3-day pump all the way to the 200 SMA? See, I'm basically betting on a lot of coins pumping up to the 200 SMA on the 3-day chart. And it would start with this 4-hour. So I'm bullish right now until I don't have to be. But again, you could easily get stopped out, and then we'd be looking for a double bottom for Doge at 6 2/10 So, but that is technically the trade there for Doge that I see. About a 30% gain to the next resistance point at 9 8/10 from 7.3. All right. I'm a little wary of it, but anything could happen. Let's take a look at our DXY, the dollar index. Thank you for the super chat for the DXY. So we talked about it being in this shoulder, head, and a right shoulder, and dumping to the downside. We want to see a dump. And so far, the 1 hour rolled us over, and we did breach this trend line yet again, but we're kind of still inside this falling wedge here. All right. I still see what's going on, and we bearishly retested and fell back to the downside out of this rising wedge. I've been tracking this rising wedge to drop to the downside for a while now. We'll get rid of this. We don't need it anymore. That played out. And we'll look at the bigger picture idea. Oop, I deleted my moving averages. I get rid of the moving averages for a second just to look at price action and for clarity. So yeah, see the shoulder, head, and the shoulder that breaks down to this area. And, you know, let's go. Daily, everything's oversold now. Dollar's expecting a bit of a bounce. You know, any asset that I see like that is expecting a bounce. You kind of have a bull, not really. Let's see if the 4 hour, that is starting to form a slight bullish divvy because that's a swing up while that's a swing down. And I guess we could put it in this chubby falling wedge. See this? And there's a chance it would break back up. All right. And negate the head and shoulder. Remember, there's 32% chance that the head and shoulder does not play out. So right now, the 4 hour does say we could get a bit of a bounce here. 15-minute wants the slump. So we'll wait out the smaller time frames. But, you know, the bigger time frames want to take you down. It is what it is, right? So the DXY here. The DXY. All right. Interesting. XRP and GPT. Now, XRP was getting tighter and tighter in the zone. Only a matter of time till it broke out. Did it eventually break out? Let's talk about it. So it attempted to. It wanted to. It got tight. It's got a value area high that it wants to get to. It's kind of in the middle range. Which is a good sign because it already bounced off the value area low. Tell you that it's likely going up. When something already hits the value area low and it gets to the POC, it's likely going to the value area high. And then you see a big gap in the bigger VRVP here, which would take you to 49. So I like what we're seeing for the VRVP. I really do. All right. It's a good sign. So that's a good sign for the XRP army and family. The daily just doesn't look good on a lot of time frames, including the total market cap, right? So we have this kind of falling wedge idea that we're in. Kind of match it with that, I guess. And you're in a symmetrical triangle, in my humble opinion. Kind of a falling wedge, a symmetrical triangle. And if it breaks down, I mean, you could come back down to 22 cents. I'm just making that, you know. But you've been battling this low area, and you've won 2, 3. You've quadruple bottomed with a higher low. Really says 32 cents is your bottom. Okay. For the lemons, thanks, man. Shout out to the 199 Little Time Mining. God bless you, Little Time Mining. Thank you for being here. May God bless you for jumping on in. So XRP, baby. You know, struggling. That's why it's like it's all about this 4 hour time frame. The 4 hour can make or break us in the next two days. 4-hour could get us back above resistance and really plow ahead, or we could have a bit of an issue, you know? So for me, XRP breaks above here, I would long any retest of 39 cents or 40 cents, or even like a candle closing above there, all right? If we don't make it above 39 cents, we go down to 15 cents. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't know about 15. We'd have to hit 32. But we could go to 12. My next level is 12 cents. And why is that? Well, that's just like the base of this triangle. That's like your conservative measured move, right? Even says it could go to 16, 17. So... everyone, we still have spaces left for tomorrow's class. Jump on into class today. All right? It's every single Tuesday from 3 to 5:30. I teach a class. You'd be surprised. It's not easy for me to teach that class, but I like doing it because it gives me discipline and focus. And we sit together. We have an awesome time. And I explain all the things that I use in trading and basically bring you into the world of technical analysis. You can trade any asset in the world with what I teach you, from Tesla to gold to silver to Bitcoin. So jump on in today. Get yourself the education, $99 to jump on in, or $100 to jump on in, $99. But it's $60 if you join the trading group today. We have an awesome deal. $330 if you pay in cryptocurrency, or if you want to pay in credit card or PayPal, whatever you want to do. $330 gives you 3 months in the trading group and the course. And we have a lot of people that took the course in the trading group. We aim to get everybody in the trading group educated so that everyone in the trading group knows what they're talking about, has a basis of fundamental information, and learned the similar fundamentals from me, the Crypto Lifer. All right. After your Lifer Vision trading course, we have a place for you to start posting charts right away. Get your hands dirty. That's the fastest way you're going to help. For the lemons. Thank you for the lemons, man. God bless you for the lifers. 819 beautiful souls on the live. 527 likes. When we get the likes up to the watchers, I would be greatly appreciated for it. So, moving forward. And someone asked about GPT. I'm looking at VRA. Still tight in the channel on the 4-hour time frame. VRA looks like it could make a move here. So, I'm watching VRA. It is in the giant head and shoulder. You see that? Shoulder, head, and shoulder. Sticky situation. It's all about if the 4-hour can make or break the move and get us above our resistances, then the bigger time frames may bend and we can have a pretty big move here. All right. Let's take a look at GPT, USDT, crypto on MEXC Global. All right. So we went over this having a nice trend line. It broke out. But look, I see a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder there. All right. But again, it's like the whole market. Some mixed signals. It is making an ascending and a symmetrical triangle. 50-50 break either way. If it breaks up, you're making that move out. If it doesn't, you're coming back down on the head and shoulder pattern to the downside, right? Like so. And you could draw a Fibonacci on that, and it would say that you come back down to the 618, Do you draw the Fib from here and say, oh, no, it's more like that area? That would be the order block right there, a chubby block, right? So interesting enough. And we have our resistance here. Take a look at our fixed volume profile, if we may. And I mean, you're well above that value. You don't have a lot of juice there, right? You get above the point of control, you're going to go to the value area high and blast all the way to 18 cents. So it's interesting. All right. What do we say? Let's look at our 1-hour time frame. Coming up, but not making, that even has a shoulder head and a kind of a right shoulder vibe in it. And it's almost in a bear pennant. 15 minutes, not looking amazing too. And that even kind of has some vibes. So interesting. We may drop out of this to the downside. And that may be a good accumulation point for a double bottom, or the 618 at 7 9/10 of a cent. So the safe trader, the aggressive trader enters right now and says, I'm just going to trade it bullishly. I don't care. I'm going to put a stop loss here. And they might get stopped out, and then it might pump. Okay, that could happen. Or we could wait for it to break out here and retest. And that would be the least risky move. That would be the smartest move, but you may not get it. It may pump faster, and you may not be able to get in there. So you never know. The 5-minute would be the time frame to watch for that. Smaller time frame, the better. So ChatGPT, it's brand new. We got to be careful about it. Moving averages are getting tight, though, which is a good sign. A big move is coming to the upside. 15 minutes shows signs of life. 1 hour's got momentum, and the 4 hour's just getting started. Let's see what the 3 hour and the 2 hour give us. I would trade this on the 2 hour time frame just because it got a little more data there. Interesting. Very interesting. Huh. We know it's hot. We know people want it. We know it's got a narrative, and people are finding out about it every day. It's highly likely it pumps based on just the speculation of it alone. 67% gains. But just be careful. Just be careful, right? And I always have to give you the bearish and the bull scenario in case. I do see somewhat of a shoulder, head and a shoulder. I do see a shoulder, head and a shoulder there. But oversold stochastics tell me we could get a bounce. And the MACD is showing signs of life, and we got falling volume with falling price. Really says a reversal is coming. Aggressive entry for here. It depends on who you are. Are you aggressive? It's like, I don't know. That's why no one should ever make a decision for another trader, because nobody knows your personality. No one knows how that trade is going to affect you. No one knows your risk tolerance. Nobody knows the answers to any of these questions but you. Also, Bitcoin's a little sketchy, and we have like Fed meetings too, which could affect almost all price action out there. All right. Let's look at Labs, the Labs group, which has been sideways for a while now, right? Labs up a little bit, shoulder, head, and shoulder. Let's take a look at what's happening for Labs. I mean, bigger picture, it's in a giant cup and handle. And on the daily, it has more momentum than most coins. And it just got a golden cross, but it's kind of rounding. So you got this cup. You got a bit of a handle, okay? It's going to give you a measured move somewhere up to about 0.02. All right. Look at that shoulder, that head, and that shoulder that did break out of the neckline. It's interesting, right? You want to tell a story. You want to kind of backtest the story. Ask yourself what actually happened here. Draw Fibonacci. See that it came down to a 618 golden pocket. You got a lot going for it, right? And now you even say that that's an SR flip of a previous resistance point. It's got even more going for it. I also know the project, and I like what the project does, and I like what it represents in real estate. So we've been trading Labs on and off for a while now. Funny, we knew about VIO 2 years ago. Isn't that crazy? Coins that were brand new, they were just coming out at the end of that rally, and then the rally, it was weird. We had a huge bull run, then coins came out that really, some of them kind of pumped, some of them didn't. And then those coins were they were building blocks of some of the bigger projects, and they would never really come to fruition, yet now they're coming back out with ideas and movement. So I like what Labs is doing. Daily looks interesting to me. The 22 is indecision, but it's got that shoulder in, head and shoulder. You almost got this trend line here too. And again, the 4 hour looks aggressive on a lot of time frames. It does. So I have to be honest, it's worth taking a shot, but we may get stopped out. You know what I mean? For me personally. We means me and my future self. So Labs looks interesting to me. Market's kind of on pins and needles today. Looks like it's going to hold 27.9, and it doesn't want to give anyone a really good feel. NEXA, it trades on MEXC Global. Everyone's all about this NEXA recently. Everyone's all about NEXA. All right. So it's double bottom. It looks like it just came out brand new on the 4 hour time frame. And it looks like it wants to dump on the 4 hour. Look at that, pushing down, right? So the bigger time frame says that it's going to have some type of push to the downside for whatever reason. It's got a support zone there. Kind of an Adam and Eve double bottom that played out. But do you make a handle now for a cup? The cup and handle there. Over bottom the 4, let's take a look at our 1. Our 1's interesting. Our 1 may bounce up like this and consolidate. Could draw a mini fib there. You came down to the 618 golden pocket already, which is interesting. I wonder if that thing flexes and just bounces out of nowhere. 1 hour time frame looks somewhat interesting to me. Probably got very low liquidity. So the 15 and the 1 say that there could be a move. That's this pattern that I've been playing. I've been trying this pattern out many, many times. Whenever price action does this, I just say, well, that's the falling wedge. It broke out. It broke back in the falling wedge. And it's likely to break out of the wedge. I've backtested this, and we've done this on the live stream many times, where I take out this hill out of the falling wedge and see that it's, because that's a trend and that's a trend. And there's still trend lines regardless. And price action found itself back inside the trend line. 50-minute pointing to the upside, and so is the 1 hour. It's a pretty good sign we could get a bit of a move to the upside. But to me, because of based on the 4 hour, we may just come here to the top of the pattern. How big is that? Because it's a small coin. It may be a good trade. 9% gains. Yeah. So I'd be waiting for that 4 hour to kind of recoil itself a little lower. That's got me kind of thinking. 2 hour time frame as well. Both one. Yeah. So anything above the 1 hour says a reset is coming for NEXA, in my humble opinion. But it could go all the way to the moon. Who knows? I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance, and this is just probabilities of technical analysis and nothing better. CFX is it was a Chinese coin. You know, I don't want to be, but that's what it was told to me. It's kind of got a Chinese narrative to it. Conflux. It's just been skyrocketing, out of control. First it had a pump, then look, if you draw the fib, this is why I have the fib drawn there. You can see it came right to the golden pocket. So all you have to know is how to, literally, you don't have to know a lot to make good money in trading. Price action pumps, it gets up to there. Everyone's asking you what's going on. You go to your daily time frame. Your daily should be overbought. So your Stochs should be above the dotted line. Your RSI, your MACD, right? Your volume just extended. And you should be away from the 21. When you see that, take a deep breath. Other people will use smaller time frames and want to continue to trade. The smaller time frames may look okay. Like you might want to trade this flag on the 7 and be like, oh, this looks like, you know. But you know in the back of your head that the daily is not in your favor. All right? So you got to remember this stuff. So you switch back to the daily. You forget all that sauce. And this is where it takes a disciplined and unemotional mind. And you just draw a fib and you say, I'm not touching this till it comes down to the 618 golden pocket. And I do this on 10 coins that pump hard. And then some of them, yeah, they maybe go here and make a flag and pump. Some of them go down and, you know, but the ones that kind of hang, I'm accumulating. And then boom, boom, boom. And we see it all the time, many, many times. So, and you do it before it happens. And I can't tell you how many setups I've posted in 2023 already that bounced off a 618 golden pocket. In December, it was all the golden pocket all day long, over and over again. And I'll teach you. A lot of people don't realize the golden pocket is between the 0.65 and the 0.618. They think it's between the 0.5 and the 0.618. Untrue. Or from my teaching, untrue. It's between the 0.65 and the 0.618. That is the golden pocket. All right. What do you think of Litecoin back to the mid-90s? I love the mid-90s. Remember Biggie Smalls? You know, a lot of good rap in the mid-90s. Yeah. I'm just joking. I'm thinking of dubbing my VeChain and putting it into AGIX. VeChain seems lost in the crowd. Crypto Cash, man. You know what? I could never tell you what to do. You're thinking out loud. Hey, I might do what you said. You know, I still hold my VeChain, but I've loaded up on AGIX at this point. I've given up on my older portfolio. I still hold some of it. Like my older portfolio was Matic, EGLD, but it's an older portfolio. And when it rebounds, I'll cash out on them. But you know, I'm looking to newer horizons for sure, and I'm building new ideas. SDAO is something I'm thinking of grabbing some about. You know what I mean? No, not only because you gave us SDAO. I remember one day I was watching the channel and you gave us SDAO right here, and then it would pump up huge. It was you. I'm pretty sure you gave us SDAO. You told me to look at it and had the word singularity in it. If singularity.net continues to pump, so will SDAO. So SDAO to me is something, and look, we're looking for it to accumulate, you know. And this is the governance token. It's attempting to make a right shoulder there, you can see. You almost want to say, hey, this was the pattern. It broke out, but it broke back inside, and just forget that it ever left the pattern. This helps me trade a lot. And I just like, I used to make this the color of the background, right? And then just trade this exactly like it's supposed to be traded. But trade it on the 4 hour because the daily doesn't look good, man. The daily would have to get flipped by this 4. But you got an inverted head and shoulder vibe going on there for SDAO. So a lot riding on the next couple of hours of price action here for Bitcoin and the markets. If we continue to get a pump, I mean, anything is possible, right? SDAO looks interesting to me. V-Chain. Lord Olympian. Can we focus on Bitcoin divergences are bearish? Radiant. Thank you, Lifer. Fam, for the love and support. Much love. God bless you. Lakochi Coker. ACUSD ready to fly. Interesting. Super chats are clear. And that brings us to the news, everybody. Let's jump on into the news. Let's get it going with the news. I'll be right back with the news. Shout out to everybody here. My name is Samuel James Price, and every single day I go over 3 amazing news topics that could basically shape the way the day goes and how our trades may be affected just by how the speculation of the masses can help move the markets. Again, show you the charts and I'll show you the news, but I do like to find out what's happening behind the scenes. Belgian crypto ads must warn of risks under new rules. The Financial Services and Market Authority will have to be notified of major ad campaigns as a survey reveals crypto investors are often trying to get rich quick. Crypto ads in Belgium must be accurate and warn investors of the risk under new laws announced by the country's financial regulator Monday. Well, that's the issue. Because of the 4-year cycle, a lot of people jump into cryptocurrency at the height of the cycle, and then they watch all their money go back down. They get very depressed, and they say, crypto is not for me. But they understood what Bitcoin is and the halving, and they actually, because that's why you have to deep dive Bitcoin, because if you don't deep dive Bitcoin, you don't understand the cycle. If you don't understand the cycle, you have no idea what's going on. Again, I am not a financial advisor, and nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice, but I do understand Bitcoin's cycle, and I can teach you about the halving, and I can teach you what happens with the cryptocurrency industry and why we ebb and flow every 4 years. Understanding this can change the playing field substantially, and that's why it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's you got to wait. If you get in at the top of the market, you got to wait 4 years. To me, 4 years isn't quick. It's a good amount of time, so anyone that's been in crypto a long time, BitBoy even says it took him 9 years to become a millionaire. So crypto isn't a get-rich scheme, and all the bigger people in crypto don't say that or don't tout that. It kind of has this aura because of the big pumps we've had and because of all the other stuff associated with it. But honestly, it takes you a long time to be successful at anything in life, and that's just the truth, to be a real success. If you made it that fast, you wouldn't be a success anyway, and you wouldn't respect it. Anything that you got to work so hard for, that you got to really just push and push and push, that's really what you want. That's what's worthy of a lifetime spent, just kind of hustling and grinding, right? Crypto.com listing drives Floki Eno value by 5%. Meme coins continue to reign over the market. While most of these assets started as jokes inspired by Dogecoin, some of them were gaining immense traction. Exchanges have been skeptical about onboarding these assets. However, Crypto.com got Floki and Velo drone. Deposits are now enabled on Crypto.com. And Velo is a coin we like to trade here on KuCoin. Likes to pump hard too. KuCoin. Crypto tax. Which countries have new rules? Portugal, the UK. Crypto used to be untaxed until the end of 22. Nonetheless, the country is still very friendly. Cryptocurrencies sold after being held for less than a year are subject to a 28% capital gains. The best part is the cryptocurrency held for beyond a year is exempt from capital gains. So you just want to hold it for a year or you'll pay 28%. Wow. That's interesting. Shout out to my people. Hong Kong has some new rules. And what are the tax-free countries? Back from several other countries where there's no tax. Switzerland, Singapore, Bermuda, and Dubai are some of the popular destinations for crypto traders to operate without paying capital gains taxes. I got to get myself a Bermuda address and right away. Puerto Rico is another popular, especially among Americans. If Americans seek Puerto Rican residency, they can benefit from paying 0% capital gains tax in exchange for paying Puerto Rico 4% of their income. Because of this, affluent Americans have flocked to the island in large numbers. I'll tell you what, man, when you start making big money and you start looking at the money, you realize, hey, you go to Puerto Rico and pay 0% capital gains tax. And if that's all your income, you know what I mean? They've been cracking down on that a little more, but also there's some things there too. You got to get an employee. You got to live there 6 months out of the year, 180 days. I went to Puerto Rico. It's a beautiful place. If you stay in like the gated communities, it's nice and it's not bad. But I mean, they have some weird stuff going on there too as well. So I don't know if I want to be there for 6 months straight just for the money. You know what I mean? Who knows? Bermuda sounds like a pretty cool place. This just makes no sense. European regulators rush to calm AT1 investors after Credit Suisse wipe out stock. 14 years ago, the Obama administration, or rather his Wall Street lackey Steve Ratner, turned the bankruptcy process on its head with Chapter 11 filing of General Motors, which steamrolled the bankruptcy liquidation waterfall by paying off the unfunded and unsecured pension plans of GM and Chrysler union workers at 40 cents on the dollar, while clamping down secured creditors, forcing them to accept 29 cents on the dollar in recovery. On Sunday, something similar happened with Credit Suisse, which much of the stock Europe's $275 billion additionally Tier 1 market and some $17 billion in Credit Suisse AT1, aka contingent convertible bonds, were wiped out, even as equity holders received over $3 billion in consideration. See, it's like, not surprisingly, this morning, the entire universe of riskiest bonds of the Europe lenders, those in the AT1 tier, plunged after UBS agreed to buy the bank in an historic government-enforced deal aimed at containing a crisis of confidence that had started to spread across global financial markets. See, what you're going to have is bigger banks buying the smaller banks. They want to consolidate the banking. I've been going over this for 10 years, and someone told me about this 10 years ago. They said they're going to get rid of all the small local banks. They don't want you to have a local bank on the corner. They want to have a central bank, a world bank, and they want to have a CBDC put out by the World Bank. They want the whole world to be on one currency. They want to know everything you buy and sell, and they want you to have nothing and be happy, and you know that's what it is. That is the news for today, everyone. Thank you so much for jumping on into the news, and let's get back to our regularly scheduled program. All right, so S&P doesn't look great. We've gone over that. AGLD doesn't look great. Market's not amazing today for a Monday. Monday's not my favorite day to trade as well. Bitcoin's still struggling and going sideways. The more sideways it goes, the more lackluster it becomes, in my humble opinion. All right. The 1 hour now is dumping on you and wants to take a dump, showing signs of a move to the downside like the M wants to dump. See that? You're pushing down now on the 1 hour. Can the 15-minute save the day? It tried to, but it now is rolling over. So 15-minute attempted to pump, but it made the right shoulder. See, shoulder, head, right shoulder. We said we must heed this right shoulder and be careful. So look at that. I mean, it made the shoulder, head, and the right shoulder. However, it is still holding this trend line. And this trend line could be a little bigger. It could be something like this. You know, there's a chance that we kind of go lower. We rebound on that 1 hour time frame, but we're going to wait for this 1 hour to reset. It is dumping. Eventually, you'll get an oversold 1 hour and 4 hour time frame. I see sideways price action for most of the day, everybody. I don't see a huge dump coming, but anything is possible. This is an M. It is a double top, but it's almost such an obvious double top. They got everybody shorting. So it would be a really easy way to rip the market back up because they got the whole world watching an M pattern that's supposed to break down. And you have to have like 1 or 2 weeks of technical analysis to know what an M is and that it could break to the downside. So they may play us. However, even though I've seen that, and I just said that out loud, I have seen the obvious play out many times because people overthink it. So, you know, it's that reverse psychology idea. 7 minute had time to bounce out of that rising wedge, and it didn't. It double bottomed, showing you signs that there's some type of bullish brewing. Why didn't the 7 minute collapse out of that rising wedge and completely tank? So 27,800 is being held very nicely. 27,777, the quadruple sevens, is holding nicely. So we will see. I'm out for the night, for the day. Feels like the night. I've been live streaming for days straight now. Feels like I haven't had a break. I'm a little under the weather, everyone. I do need to rest a little bit today. I will be a little quieter than normal. You probably won't see me posting chart after chart or going into Bitcoin like I did yesterday throughout the weekend. I just need a little time to come on down. We closed the super chats, man. And once we closed them, I thought we were done. Anyway, we'll go back into them now. Mask, Kusama, and VeChain. So I see Bitcoin going sideways. Just watch for it to break 27.8. If it does that, it's going to 27.5. If it breaks that, you're coming to the point of control at 27,250. And breaks that, you're going to 26,900. So, and I'll be privy. You know what I'll even do is I just put an alert right here. When that alert hits, it tells me what happens. And then I put an alert up here. Whatever Bitcoin does, I have alerts for it. And then I'm up there giving you updates. And I know exactly where Bitcoin's going to, or pretty much have an idea of where it's going to go. So shout out to everybody here on the live. Okay, no worries, man. We'll get it done. We'll get it done. No, let me get those super chats done, Lakochi. Don't delete them. Whoa, 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 whoa. Bring me back those super chats. You could turn off the super chats on YouTube. Why would I do that? Oh, I could turn them off like at one point. Yeah. Let's take a look at Mask Usama. Thank you, Lakochi. God bless you, Lakochi. No, you're always doing the right thing, Lakochi. You're the man, dude. So everything's following Bitcoin. Mask is in this consolidated channel. And look, the shoulder head and the shoulder con of it, but it's just going sideways. Right? That's order block finder. It's funny, right? But look at this. So tight moving averages getting tighter in the zone. You kind of have this symmetrical triangle for me now. See that? And you're going to get tighter. That is a measured move up or down. You did control to just copy everything you want. So you're either going back down to 5 or you're breaking out to 670. All right. The bigger time frame, I have this like length here. That tells you you're going up to like $9, $10, right? So that's kind of where we stand here. 22 is super overbought though. And eventually I feel like it has to consolidate bullishly. So does the daily. Your 3 days, the one that could continue. But the daily just, you know. And the 4 hour looks really good to me too. So the 4 hour on almost all time frames is this aggressive curve. Now I've even seen it aggressively curve up and just dump on you. It could even make an M pattern. All right. So it's an aggressive entry to get in right now on the 4 hour time frame, knowing what the other, but hey, if you make your bacon, then you worked for it on this one. This entry is a far more aggressive entry than normal. Take profit first one would be 755, right? And there would be the stop loss would be somewhere below 470. 17% stop loss to gain 53%. I'd be looking at for Mask, but it's a very aggressive entry. It's very aggressive, and you know that the bigger time frames are totally against us. Don't be pissed if you do get stopped out. Know that you took a shot. Like you tried to, you took a shot. It's like if you were a young man and you asked a girl to the dance. Like you gotta ask her. She may say yes, she may say no, and this, but you gotta ask her. You gotta ask. So this is one that, and then when a friend says she really likes you, she's gonna say yes. But this one, the friend hasn't said that yet, so you're not sure. So a good trade is when the friend already told you you're in there and you're like, all right, I just gotta do it. But this one is like there's no confirmation. It's far more aggressive. You may not get the bacon. You know what I mean? Hedge against CBDCs with Bitcoin and other alts, dollar-tethered assets. It's up to us to use them or not. Shout out to Justin, man. I was thinking about you the other day because you're like full-blown crypto. And I was thinking about the, And this is high risk, I have to say, due to the daily. But it doesn't mean it can't make it. It can't make it. Mask on the radar. And Monday's not my favorite day to trade. You're not going to see me overload the charts on Monday. I mean, sometimes it depends. But yeah, Bybit, I've even been hit by exchanges, and then what they tell me, they'll even give me fake money to make my trades look like they're actually happening. Dude, these exchanges are shady, man. I'm telling you right now. Yeah. I'm scared to put more money into the banks because every time you put more money into the bank, you may never get it out. You know what I mean? Like, you may never get it out. Like, because what you're doing is there's a system where we know it doesn't have everything for everybody, and then you're going to put your everything in there, and then when you're asked for your everything, you're not going to be able to get it. It's really sketchy, man. Like I'm buying more Bitcoin than ever now on the back end. Now I'm like, damn, I should be buying. I'll tell you right now, it definitely has me. I used to buy Bitcoin, and now I'm buying more Bitcoin because I don't trust the banks. Now I don't want to cause fear. Hopefully everything works out and we're fine. You know what I mean? As long as nobody goes, honestly, if we all stay calm and nobody gets their withdrawals at once, none of these banks would have went down if everyone just stayed calm. They all would have continued to operate. It's kind of sad, But as long as we don't all try to get our money at once, then we're fine. If we all try to get our money at once and we panic, then we'll collapse the system. So it's like, we can not collapse the system by just remaining calm. I know it's horrible to say, but these are the facts. You know what I mean? If we all just chill out, we're going to be fine. But if everyone freaks out, then we're not going to be fine. So, you know. All right, super chats are over, though. No more super chats. Like, I've been trying to get off the live stream now for 10 minutes, and I'm an honorable guy. So if someone sends a super chat, I want to do it. But right now, they're done, man. No more. Because I'll be here till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I don't mind. I love it. But I'll be here all day. You know what I mean? And it'll never stop. It'll never stop. Let's take a look at Kusama. Okay, so I put out Kusama back down here. Seemed like it did pump pretty nicely. I had it in this cup and handle, as you can see. Sammy cup and handy to the upside for Kusama. And what did Kusama do? It bounced up to about 21%, 0.8% gains. It's got a shoulder ahead and a right shoulder there with an overbought daily, right? So I'm seeing just a lot of mixed signals in the markets. So what I do is I get rid of the moving averages and I set support and resistance lines. Remember, all an order block is an area of heavy buying and selling. You can't have an order block where there's a thin line of candles. You can't, right? So whether you're playing your support or resistance, the VRVP or the order blocks, you're going to be basically getting an area of liquidity. So basically, someone who buys support and sells resistance is the same guy who pays attention to an order block, whether they know it or not. So look at this. You got this uptrending time, right? I just don't like how the daily, look, the daily has a resistance that it can't get back above. Resistance, resistance, resistance. And that's another thing. Don't get stuck in order blocks and not remember your support and resistance. You know, always make sure that if you add that, you know, or whatever you do, I mean, whatever you do, you do. No trader's going to trade the same way. As long as it works, keep doing it, you know? Heck, if you take your left shoe off and it works, keep doing it. Shoulder, head, and right shoulder there doesn't look good to me. I'll be honest, you know what I mean? You got to get back above this zone to remain bullish, clear as day. I mean, that's a resistance. It's having trouble there. So Kusama, I don't know, man. Comes back down again, hangs out, gets tight, and then breaks on out. And I could be wrong. Watch it just pump out of nowhere. The 4 hours aggressive. And it's you know, just like Bitcoin, it's in an ascending triangle. Like, you got the whole market kind of in this standstill. And you got the Fed coming out with a talk, right, in 2 days. So I don't like what I'm seeing for Kusama at all. All right. VeChain, USDT. Miss Team Crypto's coming on. Head there after Lifer ends, friends. Miss Team Crypto jumping onto the live. So look, we have a resistance here now, right? For VeChain. And I put out VeChain 3L recently, right? Did it make that move on that 4 hour? It looked really good in the 4 hour. And VeChain, everything is in the same pattern. It's in the ascending triangle, which is a 50% pattern. It's not a bullish pattern, even though everyone always thinks it is. It's a 50-50. Like, we could easily double bottom here for VeChain. Now, 1 hour's oversold and our 4 hours oversold. That would make me want a long. So I call a long for VeChain here. Moving averages are tight. And VeChain's been lagging. Like, the whole market would pump. VeChain did nothing. And then it might actually pump now. So I'd watch VeChain. Looks like the 1 hour and the 4 hour could make a bit of a scalp here. First place I would look at, though, was 8 tenths of a cent for VeChain. And, okay, do you, Feng? FDIC can't possibly insure everybody, right? Lately, I do best accidentally trading the wrong coin that I'm charting. You just have it in there in buying power. You make 4% APY. Do you, my man? You don't have to have any stocks to make 4% APY. You must now have been around when the prevented selling on stocks, Fang. Robinhood is FDIC approved, so it is safe. So you're saying SMC trade? Yeah, I can't stand Robinhood. Yeah, but you just said FDIC, but what I found is there's $22 trillion in the banking system. The FDIC has $124 billion with a credit line of $100 billion. That's $224 billion. That's less than 1.24% of the entire 22 trillion. So, like, they just don't have the money. Like, you can FDI all you want, but, like, let's get real. At the end of the day, man, no one's giving you anything. You got to make whatever you have yours. And that's why I love Bitcoin. When you own Bitcoin, you own Bitcoin. You don't have to go to the bank to go get it. You don't have to ask someone for it. You have the Bitcoin. It's yours. You know what I mean? So, Bitcoin finally taking the tank to the downside. It could not compete. Finally making the move down. 27,600. And there you have it, right? Now, this is its big test. Because I extended my trend line, remember? This is its big test. Can it hold? Here it is now. The 1 hour is starting to bend. Your 15 minutes been extremely plastered to the ground. It was low, got low again. But now you got a shoulder, head, and shoulder. You would have to heed that would dump to the downside and give you further lows. And you have a bearish divergence in the 1 hour and you're double topped. So now you're going to make the M pattern and continue to the downside. I'm just weary of False Move Monday. You got to fib. People are drawing Fibonacci's here too, and they're saying, oh, well, you're bouncing on the 618. You see? So what do I see happening for the next few hours? Let's look at the smaller time frame. Honestly, I'm watching my trend line. If my trend line breaks, we're fulfilling the M pattern and we're likely to continue down. If this trend line holds in the next hour, then we're bouncing to the upside. I feel like they always send us for a trip, so my prediction is we bounce back up here to the bottom of the pattern. Whether we break down again could happen. Smart move is just to play the M to the downside and forget anything else. And don't try to be wary of what they're doing or not doing. Just trade that, you know. You can see we kind of hit our top liquidity too. And now, you know, we kind of hit the zone. We ate what we could eat. Now they're trying to drag us back down to 26.5, but they got rid of the big zones too of liquidity. It's pretty flat now, 26,660. I'll take a daily close above 27.5 and call it a day. Also, low, high, higher, low, higher, low. I mean, high, low, higher, high, higher, low. That puts in a higher low on the 4 hour. That's going to be confirmed to move. All right. So we're at a standstill right now. I need more confirmation to be able to really make a full-blown prediction. So far, the short is playing out on the bearish divergence. So you have that. That was our main form, right? But we're weary of it. We're somewhat weary of it, right? Shout out to MEXC. Shout out to BOOKMAP. Shout out to the Crypto Fear and Greed Index at 66. Shout out to Fiat Leak and TradingView and everything that made this show possible. Shout out to all the beautiful people here. Shout out to my team and everybody. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for jumping on in. May you all have a wonderful day. Yeah, that's why. That's a second higher low right there. That's why usually you'd make a double bottom here, and we're not. So I'm watching the symmetrical triangle looking like it's holding. The crazy, weird, different way of trading for me is saying that this is going to pump up on the 1 hour, on the 15-minute. 15-minute looks aggressive, but you never know. Shout out everybody. Timmy knows crypto's about decentralization. Robinhood is centralized. Jacob is a true crypto lifer. We've buried the hatchet, man. The trading group is 99 for crypto enthusiasts. Always on fire, baby. Extreme. Everybody, I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you tomorrow on the next live stream. May God bless each and every one of you. May you have a wonderful day. And I'll see you tomorrow. God bless.